ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, from verse number 28. Savadharasya karpanyam viviktadhyatma vimunchatma tanum goram ityukto vimumochaha. The Lord, who can distinctly see the minds of others, perceived Brahma's distress and said to him, "Cast off this impure body of yours." Thus commanded by the Lord, Brahma cast off his body. Tam kvanach charanam bojam madvihvala lochanam kanchi kalapa vilasad dukula channarodasam. The body given up by Brahma took the form of the evening twilight, when the day and night meet, a time which kindles passion. The asuras, who are passionate by nature, dominated as they are by the element of rajas, took it for a damsel whose lotus feet resounded with the tinkling of anklets, whose eyes were wide with intoxication, and whose hips were covered by fine cloth, over which shone a girdle. अन्योन्यश्लेषयोत्तुङ्गा निरन्तर पयोधरां सुनासां सुद्विजां स्निग्धहासलीलावलोकनाम्.
You are not sharing screen.
Okay, yeah, good point. Let me know if you can see now.
Yes, Roji, yes.
Okay. अन्योन्यश्लेषयोत्तुङ्गा निरन्तर पयोधरां सुनासां सुद्विजां स्निग्धहासलीलावलोकनाम्. Her breasts projected upward because of their clinging to each other, and they were too contagious to admit any intervening space. She had a shapely nose and beautiful teeth, a lovely smile placed on her lips, and she cast a sportful glance at the asuras. गुहन्तीं व्रीडयात्मानं नीलालकवरूथिनीम् उपलभ्यासुरा धर्म सर्वे सम्मुमुः स्त्रियम्. Adorned with dark tresses, she hid herself as it were out of shyness. Upon seeing that girl, the asuras were all infatuated in an appetite for sex. अहो रूपम् अहो धैर्यम् अहो अस्या नवं वयः मध्ये कामयमानानाम् अकामेव विसर्पति. The demons praised her. Oh, what a beauty! What rare self-control! What a budding youth! In the midst of all, in the midst of all us all, sorry, in the midst of us all, who are passionately longing for her, she moving about like one absolutely free from passion. Vitarkayanto bahuda tam sandhyam pramadakritim abhisambhavya visrambhat paryaprachan kumedasaha. Indulging in various speculations about the evening twilight, which appeared to them endowed with form of a young woman, the wicked-minded asuras treated her with respect and fondly spoke to her as follows. Kasi kasyasi rambhoro ko vastaste tatra bhamini rupam dravina panyena durbhagan no vibhadase. Who are you, O pretty girl? Whose wife or daughter are you? And what can be the object of your appearing before us? Why do you tantalize us unfortunate as we are with the priceless commodity of your beauty. यावा काचित् त्वम् अबले दृष्ट्या सन्दर्शनं तव उत्सुनोऽसि मानानां कन्दुक्वा क्रीडया मनः. Whoever you may be, oh beautiful girl, we are fortunate in being able to see you. While playing with a ball, you have agitated the minds of all onlookers. नैकत्र ते जयति सलीलिपादपद्मं घ्नन्त्या मुहुः करतलेन पततः पतङ्गं मध्यं विसीदति बृहत्स्थन भारभीतं शान्त्वे शान्त्येव दृष्टिरमला सुशिखा सुमुहा. O beautiful woman, when you strike the bouncing ball against the ground with your hand again and again, your lotus feet do not stay in one place. Oppressed by the weight of your full grown breasts, your waist become fatigued, and your clear vision grows dull, as it were. Pray braid your comely hair or comely hair. इति सायन्तनीं सन्ध्याम् असुरा प्रमदायितं प्रलोभयन्तीं जगृर्मत्वा मूढा धियः स्त्रियम्. The asuras, clouded in their understanding, took the evening twilight to be a beautiful woman showing herself in her alluring form, and they seized her. प्रहस्य भावगम्भीरं जिघ्रन्त्यात्मनम् आत्मना कान्त्या ससर्ज भगवान् गन्धर्वाप्सरासां गणान्. With a laugh full of deep significance, the worshipful Brahma then evolved his own loveliness, which seemed to enjoy itself by itself, the hosts of Gandharvas and Apsaras. विससर्ज तनुं तां वै जस्यां कान्तिमतीं प्रियां त एव चाददुः प्रीत्यां विश्ववसु पुरोगमाः. After that, Brahma gave up that shining and beloved form of moonlight. Vishwavasu and other Gandharvas gladly took possession of it. सृष्ट्वा भूता पिशाचं च भगवान् आत्मतन्द्रिणां दिग्वासवो मुक्तकेशान् वीक्ष्य चामीलयदृशौ. The glorious Brahma next evolved from his sloth the ghosts and finds, but he closed his eyes when he saw them stand naked with their hair scattered. जगृतद्विश्रुतां तां जृम्भनाख्यां तनुं प्रभो निद्राम् इन्द्रियाविक्लेदो यया भूतेश दृष्टये येनोच्चिष्टान् दर्शयन्ति तन् उन्मादं प्रचक् प्रचक्षते. The ghosts and hobgoblins took possession of the body thrown off in the form of yawning by Brahma, the creator of the living entities. This is also known as a sleep which causes drooling. The hobgoblins and the ghosts attack men who are impure, and their attack is spoken of an insanity. ऊज्रवस्वन्तं मन्यमान आत्मानं भगवान् अजः साध्यान् गुणान् पितृगणान् परोक्षेषा सृजत् Recognizing himself to be full of desire and enjoy and energy, the worshipful Brahma, the creator of the living entities, evolved from his own invisible form from his navel the hosts of sadhyas and pitas. The आत्मसर्गं तं कायं पितरः प्रतिपेद्यरे साध्येभ्यश्च पितृभ्यश्च कवयो यद्वितन्वते. The Pitas themselves took possession of the invisible body, the source of their existence. It is through the medium of this invisible body that those well versed in the rituals offer oblations to the sadhyas and pitas in the form of their departed ancestors on the occasion of Shraddha. सिद्धान् विद्याधरांश्चैव तिरोधानेन ससृजत् तेभ्यो ददात्तम् आत्मानम् antardhanakyam adbhutam. Then Lord Brahma, by his ability to be hidden from visible, from vision, created the Siddhas and Vidyadharas and gave them that wonderful form of his known as Antardana. स किन्नरान् किम्पुरुषान् प्रत्यात्मयेया सृजत् प्रभुः मानयन् आत्मानम् आत्माभासं विलोकयन्. One day, Brahma, the creator of the living entities, beheld his own reflection in the water and admiring himself, he evolved Kimpurushas as well as Kinnaras out of that reflection. ते तु तज्जगृह्रूपं त्यक्तं यत् परमेष्टिना मिथुनीभूय गायन्तस्तं एवोषसि कर्मभिः. The Kimpurushas and Kinnaras took possession of that shadowy form left by Brahma. That is why they and their spouse sing his praises by recounting his exploits at every daybreak. देहेन वै भोगवता शयानो बहु चिन्तया सर्गेऽनुपचिते क्रोधात् उत्सृजा हतद्वपुः. Once Brahma lay down with his body stretched at full length. He was very concerned that the work of creation had not proceeded apace, and in a sullen mood he gave up that body too. ये हि ये हि यन्तामुतः केशा अहस्यतेऽङ्घ जङ्गिरे सर्पाः प्रसर्पतः क्रूरा नागा भोगुरु कन्दराः. Oh dear Vidura, the hair that dropped from that body transformed into snakes, and even while the body crawled along with its hands and feet contracted, there sprang from it ferocious serpents, and nagas with their hoods expanded. Sa atmanam manyamanah krita krityam ivatmabuhu tada mano sasrajante manasaloka bhavanan. One day, Brahma, the self born, the first living creature, felt as if the object of his life has been accomplished. At that time, he evolved from his mind the Manus, who promote the welfare activities of the universe. Tebhyaso srujat sviyam puram purusham atmavan tan drishtva ye pura srishtaha prasasam suho prajapatim. The self-possessed creator gave them his own human form. On seeing the Manus, those who had been created earlier, the demigods, the Gandharvas, and so on, applauded Brahma, the Lord of the universe. Aho detat jagat srishtah sukritam patate kritam pratishtita kriya yasmin sakam annam adamahe. They prayed, O Creator of the universe, we are glad what you have produced is well done. Since ritualistic acts have now been established soundly in this human form, we shall all share the sacrificial oblations. Tapasa vidyaya yukto yogena sushumadina rishi keshaha sasrajabhi matah prajaha. Having equipped himself with austere penance, adoration, mental concentration, and absorption in divine devotion, accompanied by dispassion, and having controlled his senses, Brahma, the self born living creature, evolved great sages as his beloved sons. तेभ्यश्चैकैकसस्वस्य देहस्यास् देहस्यांशम् अदाद् अजः यत्तत् समाधियोगर्दि तपोविद्या विरक्तिमत्. To each one of these sons, the unborn creator of the universe gave a part of his own body, which was characterized by deep meditation, mental concentration, supernatural power, austerity, adoration, and renunciation. Thus ends the chapter 20 from third canto, which is entitled Conversation between Maitreya and Vidura. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, I see someone has a comment. Okay, this is about the screen. Okay. Yeah. So this chapter is all about creation, how everything came into existence within one universe for which Lord Brahma, who has come from the navel of Lord Vishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu is yeah described. Of course, Prabhupada also didn't elaborate few verses which are yeah describing the chronology of how everything started getting created. We will go from verse number 28 and very quickly understand few key things. So it is here in the verse 28 it says, so avadharya means perceiving. So means the Supreme Lord Hari. So avadharya karpanyam, the distress. The distress of Brahma, Lord observed and he said, okay, give up that body which is causing this issue. And in the purport, Prabhupada writes, the Lord is described here as Viviktadhyatma Darshana. Means if anyone can completely perceive others' distress, it is only the Supreme Lord without a doubt. That's what it means. If someone is in distress and want to get relief from his friend, sometimes it so happens that his friend does not appreciate the volume of distress he is suffering. But the Supreme Lord, for him, it is not difficult. The Supreme Lord, as Paramatma, is sitting within the heart of every entity and he directly perceives the exact cause of distress. So, this is one which is highlighted here. And of course, Prabhupada writes later in the purport further, the mental condition of the child depends upon the mental status of his parents at the time he is conceived. According to Vedic system, therefore, the Garbhadana Sanskar or the ceremony for giving birth to a child is observed. Before begetting a child, one has to sanctify his perplexed mind. When the parents engage their mind, here we can see all this is explained because Brahma's mind was not in correct order when he created the demons. It must have been full of passion because the entire creation was passionate. Therefore, such passionate sons were born. Going further, Tam Pachan is saying the body given up by Brahma took the form of evening twilight. And from here, what happens is the demons, yeah, so we can see they took immediate shelter of it. When we say they have took the form, what Brahma leaves means they took the shelter of it. And demonic men are generally very fond of sex enjoyment, therefore they very much appreciate the approach of the evening. Huh? And there is whole description about a beautiful girl coming and they started feeling and all. In this purport 29 it's mentioned. They imagined the twilight to be a very beautiful woman with tinkling bangles on her feet, a girdle on her hips and beautiful breasts, and for their sexual satisfaction they imagined the appearance of this beautiful girl before them. So whatever is now described till the further creation of Brahma is the call the dream world or expectation of the demons that they want. That's why they could see something as like this Anyonyo. Anyway, so there is whole description about her beauty. Some, as I said, translations as it is are we have already read, and we see few are having purports. And in 31, it's mentioned how the demons have so much in full of ignorance. Uh, a godly person is in full of knowledge, and a demonic person is in full of ignorance. Just as a child is attracted by a beautiful doll, similarly, a demon who is less intelligent and full of ignorance is attracted by beautiful, uh, attracted by material beauty and an appetite for sex. And Prabhupada writes further. Sri Shankaracharya has advised all persons not to be attracted by the interaction of flesh and blood, and they should be attracted by the real beauty in the spiritual life. What Adi Shankaracharya is saying is that this is a bag of bones and mucus and blood. Yeah. And of course, it's too disgusting to call someone, hey, you are a bag of bones, blood, and mucus. But the saintly people can see them and they are not disturbed and they are not carried away like a demonic person. Then, yeah, we go further and then they were asking, thinking themselves, oh, who are you, oh pretty one? Whose wife are you? Whose daughter are you? All these things. Yeah, we can see also in Rama and in some other places a person who is captivated. Yeah, in fact, Ravana, when he meets Vedavati, he gets so much attracted and he starts inching closer and closer to her. While closing her to her, he was also inquiring, "Oh, how come?" He's trying to attract through words of jugglery about glorifying the beauty. And yeah, here we can see these demons are, of course, having that. And then in that flattery, they were saying, "Hey, you are looking like a great yogi." And whosoever you may be, O beautiful, we are fortunate to be able to see you. While playing with a ball, you have agitated the minds of all onlookers. And this, I think Prabhupada writes about, yeah, how the sports can attract, and especially this game of ball and all these things. So one should be careful. Even if a man engages in mental sex enjoyment, he cannot enjoy it for long. But when sex enjoyment is given up, then one can enter spiritual life, which is unending. That is the summary of this. That's what is called Brahma Saukyam. Uh, Brahma Saukyam is spiritual happiness and is Anantam, as per Srimad Bhagavatam 551. And then it goes further and further. When, yeah, coming now to 38. When a laugh full of deep significance, with a laugh, Brahma then evolved his own loveliness, which seemed to enjoy itself by itself. And then from that loveliness of Brahma came Gandharvas and Apsaras. Uh, who are they? The musicians in the upper planetary systems are called Gandharvas, and the dancing girls are called Apsaras. After being attacked by the demons and evolving a form of beautiful women in twilight, Brahma next created Gandharvas and Apsaras. And what happened? It is very clear. Music and dance employed in sense gratification are to be accepted as demonic, but the same music and dance, when employed in glorifying the Supreme Lord as kirtana, are transcendental, and they bring about a life completely fit for spiritual enjoyment. After this, Brahma gave up that shining and beloved form of moonlight. Vishwa Vasu and other Gandharvas gladly took the possession, not position, possession. The glorious Brahma next evolved from his sloth. Sloth means laziness, kind of, should I really get up and do something now? Also sometimes you are called, hey, you are a sloth, like a worm that or a creature, do not want to do anything. So the glorious Brahma next evolved from his sloth the ghosts and finds, but he closed his eyes when he saw them stand naked with their hair scattered. So after that, the ghosts and hobgoblins, who are goblins? Goblins are these what I forgot. These genies, yeah, Aladdin genie they call. No? So this is the hobgoblins, which are usually in bottles. Ghosts and hobgoblins took possession of body thrown off in the form of yarning. When Brahma was yarning, that yarning is an act which came out, and then immediately this they took shelter of that. The creator of this is also known as a sleep, which causes drooling. And if we want to know Sadachar, one of the Sadachar etiquette, here we see, here it is clearly stated that when a man is first asleep and saliva flows from his mouth and he remains unclean, ghosts then take advantage of his unclean state and haunt his body. In other words, those who drool while sleeping are considered unclean and are subject to be haunted by ghosts or to go insane. Yeah, some info if you want to know. Yeah. And then afterwards, recognizing himself to be fully full of desire and energy, the Lord Brahma, the creator of living entities, evolved from his own invisible form, from his navel, the hosts of sadhyas and pitas. Sadhyas and pitas are invisible forms of departed souls, and they are also created by Brahma. Hmm. So, in the next verse, the pitas themselves took possession of invisible body, the source of their existence. It is through the medium of this invisible body that those well versed in the rituals offer oblations to sadhyas and pitas. So there's whole explanation about what is a Shraddh ceremony and what is done. But unfortunately, by the influence of Maya, the conditioned soul employs the body to get body he gets for sense gratification, forgetting that such an occupation may lead him return to an invisible body, which is ghost. The devotee of the Lord, or one who is Krishna consciousness, however, do not need to perform such ritualistic ceremonies as Shraddha. But I think there is a very important word here. I'm just looking. It will come later. Yeah. So I'll repeat again. The devotee of the Lord, or one who is in Krishna consciousness, however, does not need to perform such ritualistic ceremonies as Shraddha because he is always pleasing the Supreme Lord. Therefore, his fathers and ancestors who might have been in difficulty are automatically relieved. The vivid example is Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj requested Lord Narsingadev to deliver his sinful father, who had so many times offended the Lord. Hmm? The Lord replied in a family where a Vaishnava like Prahlad is born, not only his father, but his father's father and their fathers up to 14th father back are automatically delivered. And now, important. The conclusion, therefore, is that Krishna consciousness is the sum total of all good work for the family, for society, and for all living entities. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is the point important. The author says that a person uh, fully conversant with Krishna consciousness. That's what is very important. It's not just, okay, now I have become a devotee. If I am thinking I have become a devotee, no. One who is fully conversant with Krishna consciousness does not perform any rituals because he knows that simply by serving Krishna in full Krishna consciousness, all rituals are automatically performed. Going further, then Lord Brahma, by his ability to be hidden from vision, created Siddhas and Vidyadharas and gave them wonderful form of his own, known as Antardana. Hmm? Antardana means that these living creatures can be perceived to be present, but they are not visible. And then Brahma creates Kinnaras and Kimpurushas, and with their took possession of that shadowy form left by Brahma. That is why they and their spouses sing his praises by recounting his exploits at every daybreak. We know what is a Brahma Muhurta. Brahma Muhurta is the time which is 1.5 hours before the sunrise. And Kinnaras and Kimpurushas, along with their spouse, what they do is they sing uh, prayers, praising the Lord. Spiritual activities performed early in the morning have a greater effect than in any other part of the day. Prabhupada writes in the purport. देहेन वै भोगवता सयानो बहु चिन्तया सर्गेनुपचित क्रोधात् उत्सर्ज hatat vapuhu. Then after that, Lord Brahma, he lay down and he stretched and he was very concerned that the work of creation had not proceeded quickly, very swiftly. And in that mood, he gave up that body to whatever he was laying down in that, he gave up that body. And O Vidura, when he gave up that body from the hair of that, they came snakes. And then, even while the body crawled, yeah, even though Brahma had left that body, the body was crawling with hands and feet contracted. And because of that contraction, they sprang from it ferocious serpents and nagas with their hoods expanded and further, yeah. And then one day Brahma, he felt now, oh, finally I have accomplished everything creation. And that time Manus came from his mind, and self-possessed creator gave them his own human form. And then now Manus are there who can do the yajnas and everything, all the sacrifices. So all whoever now these other devatas and yakshas and everyone, they said, hey, now there is one who is going to create oblations, and we are happy to take all whatever results are there because after all we also need to survive and we also need to serve the people. So they were very happy. Having equipped himself with austere, and then Brahma, he created sages from himself from austere penance, adoration, mental concentration, and absorption in devotion, accompanied by dispassion and having controlled his senses. All these things through which then only he was able to create the what do you call the Saptarishis. And to each one of these sons, the unborn creator of the universe gave a part of his own body, which was characterized by seven things: deep meditation, mental concentration, supernatural power, austerity, adoration, and renunciation. Thus ends this particular chapter, and in conclusion, Prabhupada writes, the principle of renunciation are four. Hmm. What are they? To avoid illicit sex life, to avoid meat eating, to avoid gambling, to avoid intoxication. These four principles are called tapasya or austerity. To absorb the mind in the supreme in Krishna consciousness is the process of spiritual realization. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So much to do with creation, isn't it? It's not easy. Creation is always dangerous. Huh? What we can see, Brahma was struggling, and so many things in fact came out. Any thoughts? Anyone want to share? Any important points that you found interesting? You want to gather? Take it. Okay. Then have a nice evening, and tomorrow we'll cover conversation between Kardamamuni and Manu, Swayambhu Manu. Vanchakalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada.